What we're doing today is pasture maintenance. We've got our tractor set up with the brush hog behind, and we're going to mow down some of this overgrown and some of the grass in here has gone to seed. So we're going to mow this field down so by the time the pigs get over here, they have fresh grass to eat. So we're just going to take a little bit of time, mow this down, and we're using our tractor. You can use your lawnmower or do a sickle by hand, whatever you've got to make it work. So we're going to go through and cut this down, and then we're going to show you what we have going on with the pigs. We're going to get them moved and show the progress that's been made since last week. We're back in the pig pasture today. We're going to show you moving the fence again, so we're going to get them to the next set of grass. But real quick, I wanted to show you the way I have this feeder set up. This is a feeder I made myself out of an IBC tote. All I did was take an angle grinder and cut out some of the metal, just so you can see. If you have an IBC tote, you can kind of get an idea where I cut it out. And then all I did was slice the sides and the bottom to make a flap. And then I just took some wood that I had, some 4x4s and 1x4s to hold the plastic back to kind of create an angle. So when cut opening in the top. So when you dump the feed in, it creates an angle and an opening on either side, so the pigs can stick their head in and eat the feed. So then on the top, I just took some old metal roofing and a 4x8 sheet of plywood, screwed the roofing to it, and then I used a ratchet strap to hold it down. You really need, or I found that you need quite a bit of overhang to keep the rain out. If it's just wide enough to kind of cover up the top where you put the feed in, rain can still come in at an angle and get in there, and your feed's getting all moldy and all crappy and everything. So I found this 4x8 sheet really worked the best for me to keep the feed dry when we have rain. And over here you can see the portable shelter. Actually, all them pigs are bedded down in there, catching a little bit of shade, and they're in the dirt a little bit. That was made with leftover 4x4s and some old galvanized roofing off my grandma's barn that we were able to salvage. So you can see that all 6 of them fit in there. We also used this last year. All 6 of the pigs fit in there. It does get a little tight when they get a little bit bigger, but it still works well. They're able to get out of the weather and catch some shade, and it has wheels on it and handles on the other side, so you're able to maneuver it around. It's a little bit heavy. In hindsight, I probably could have went with 2x4 construction. The 4x4s make it a little heavy, but it still does the job. All right, we're going to show the construction of this pig water. As you can see, they just come up and they're the nipple drinkers. But what we use is a pressurized line, so we don't have to worry about gravity feeding anything. So we have a pump and everything and a hose set up. So it's basic construction. This is 3/4 inch galvanized piping set up with the drinkers, and we're using 4x4. So what we did is take some galvanized metal mesh. You really need something there, otherwise what's going to happen is the spilt water is going to build up there, and it's going to give them somewhere to kind of wallow. So you need something that's going to allow the water to drain, but not allow them to tear it all up and basically kind of mound up the dirt, so it kind of buries the frame. So that's why we use the mesh that's screwed in the bottom, and you can see we have just all galvanized pieces, clamps here, and one of the more important things is something to hold it down. When the pigs get on here, they're going to have the tendency to move and walk this into the fence. So the thing that we found, we needed big pieces of rebar to hold this in place. The other thing that we found the first year, we didn't insulate the inlet pipe. So when you go to move that, if you're using this as a handle and that flips up and touches the pipe, you know, you just shocked yourself. So we threw an extra piece of IPS pipe on there, and then you can see on the other side we have it teed off. We have our inlet hose for now, and on the other side, even though it's upside down, it's another spigot that does allow us in the hottest weather to add a hose on there and kind of just hose them down a little bit and cool them off on the hotter days. Or depending on your water situation or your water source, you can have that. If it's really dry, you can use that for irrigation where you just left to water in some of the seed that you had. So this is a quick layout of how we had this set up. I'm just going to finish spiking this in place. You can see that we moved their shelter. They're kind of getting used to that. We drug their feeder over, and we had this new patch of grass for them to go on for the next 2 weeks. So we'll keep you updated. 2 more weeks from now, we're going to move them to the last section of this half of the pasture before we go flip over to the other side.